Okay, so I haven't seen this yet. I'm really excited to see it. I have never missed a World of Warcraft expansion release in my life. Ever since the game came out in 2004, I have been here hyped up for every single expansion release that has ever occurred. And this one isn't going to be any different. Okay, so this is about Alleria. It says Alleria, Light and Shadow. If you don't know who Alleria is, you probably know who Sylvanas is. Alleria is the oldest sister of the Windrunner sisters. There's 3 Windrunner sisters. Alleria is the oldest one. Sylvanas is the middle child, and the youngest one is Verisa. And Alleria, she was lost for a long time. So a lot of the time when I was playing WoW, there was this huge mystery about Alleria. Like, there was just speculation people had about where was she, what happened to her. And it was this big lore mystery. And then one day it came out and they revealed it in Legion that Alleria had actually been like fighting demons and stuff. She'd been in the void, and she'd been with Turalian, a paladin guy. So they've been fighting demons and monsters. Okay, that's pretty much all you need to know. She'd been in the void. And so basically she came out of the void with badass void powers. So great news. She's alive. You know, we found out she's okay. And she has really sick void powers. But it seems to me, based on the other trailer I'd seen for War Within, that the void, they're going to actually try to make the void seem scary in War Within. And I think it's really important they get this right, because they've said that they want to really focus on story now and try to like improve the storytelling experience in War Within. And I really care about that. So I'm going to see how they do. But based on the previous, I forgot the name of this animation that I saw from them the other day. It was about that spider lady who like gave in to the call of the void. It was really good. And I feel like they did a good job in there of showing that the void is not just cool, sparkly purple energy, but it is something to be feared. It is something that comes at a heavy cost. So I hope that that is something that can also come through in this skit. So let's watch it.
When we are young, we are taught to revere the light. But when I turn to it, I see only fire. The fire of pain, of loss, the choices I made. Quel'Thalas, home. Until the Horde threatened everything. My family was sworn to protect it. And protect it we did. When Sylvanas and I fought together, we fought as one. But the conflict here was growing, pulling my sister and I apart.
Wow, this is beautiful.
How can you leave? You will choose the Alliance over Quel'Thalas, our home.
It's not just our kingdom at risk. If the Horde isn't beaten back, others will fall. I have to go.
But you're abandoning your family.
I am doing this for our family. I lost a sister that day. Had I known that my actions would curse Sylvanas to her fate, would I have chosen differently? I left my home to fight this war to the end. I had no idea how far away that fight would take me.
I wonder, is that like
Despite
she
the
regrets?
war, I found my life's true love, Turalyon. And together we fought side by side. Until we became three.
Was that
But beyond the
Eretor?
boundaries of our world, our enemies grew powerful.
You can make your stand here. Why risk marching into the unknown?
Our only choice is to take the fight to them before it's too late. Should we not succeed,
I will keep him safe. Just come back.
We'll return before you know it, Eretor.
Yeah, it is.
had I known that I would not see my son again until he was a man himself, would I have still left?
She's like
I had
questioning
given
all her life
everything for
choices
this fight.
up to this point.
The only thing left to give was myself. There was
Yeah,
no
she
other
lost
way.
her family twice.
In order to defeat the darkness, I had to embrace it. So embrace it, I did.
Wow!
But at what cost? Turalyon, who had known me, loved me, fought beside me, now saw me differently.
What have you done?
The shadow, it saved us.
No. I would rather have died than see you fall to evil.
Turalyon didn't understand, but I could not fault him. If I had known that embracing the shadow would push him away, would I have sought another path? No. All of the things I did for a reason. War is sacrifice.
Wow.
And I have sacrificed everything to protect those I love. To keep them safe. And if it takes sacrificing myself to protect our world,
That's her
I will
son.
not hesitate. I am a soldier of Azeroth.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was actually amazing! This was a fantastic story. I mean, for me, I know a lot about Alleria already, but I wonder... Well, I think it is probably, like, because I showed this to my friend who doesn't know anything about World of Warcraft, who doesn't know anything about Alleria, and I asked him if he liked it, and he said that he really enjoyed it and thought it was well made, so... that's good. I guess it should teach you a lot about who she is and what she's been through and all the sacrifices that she made. I thought this was very well written and well paced. It goes through all of the decisions that she made where she had to leave her loved ones behind. And so much of it is like, does she regret that? Does she wish she had done things differently when she made those difficult decisions? And then this epic finale where she's resolved in the path that she took, and she knows that when she said like, no, I did these things for a reason, and those reasons mattered. That's fantastic. I mean, it's good character writing. Of course, Turalyon, she didn't completely push him away, but I wonder how big of a role he's going to be playing in the expansion. I think this is a very interesting dynamic that they could get into more, because he seems to me kind of like an extremist. He seems like a super hardcore paladin where he might not be that chill with Alleria maybe embracing more of that void side of her. I'm really interested to see how that plays out in the expansion. And also, I would love to see more of Eretor. That's their son, who like you meet him in Burning Crusade in an inn in Hellfire Peninsula, I think. I'm pretty sure. And he just felt like he'd been abandoned, and it's really tragic. So yeah, a lot of War Within is going to be about the void, and it's going to be about her coming to terms with who she is and trying to hold on to her true self in spite of the void that is sort of vying for control of her, because the void is not something to be around with. It's almost reminds me a little bit of early Sylvanas writing, when I really enjoyed the way that they wrote Sylvanas early on, when it was unclear how much of Sylvanas was left and how much of it was her being a banshee. I always thought that was such a fascinating dynamic to get into. So there's a lot of rich narrative text we can get into with the expansion. I'm feeling pretty good so far. I mean, of course, animated short is one thing. How this is going to translate into the actual game story and quests could be quite another.
Zepla, hope you've been well.
Hey, Prince Riskayo.
Zepla Q love.
Hey, thank you so much for the 18-month resub. I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Thank you. I see this as light and darkness, void, work together in unison. Terralion and Alleria. Either you see it as dusk or dawn. Oh, you know what would be really interesting is if you see in the expansion, Alleria fall more and more to the void, and Terralion get further and further into light, and they get further separated from each other until something happens that forces them to like reconnect and find that balance, find that middle ground again. Yep. Arathor could have void and light. No, I don't think so. I don't know if Arathor could have void powers, because he didn't spend time in the void. He was left behind. And so he, as far as I'm aware, only has light power. It's because of Alleria's time that she spent in the void is the reason she became void touched. But it isn't something that's natural to her. It's not intrinsic to her. I'm actually a kind of a lore nerd about WoW. Because believe it or not, when I first started playing World of Warcraft back in the day in 2004, it was actually the lore that got me really involved with it. I was role-playing for many years, and I would come up with really deep backstories for my characters, and I did, like, you know, legit roleplay, not the other kind. So I know a good bit about it. But yeah, all the signs right now of War Within story are looking promising to me. The early signs are good. I only did the first zone of story in the alpha, and I didn't want to do too much of it because I didn't want to spoil myself.